Hello. Just a little while ago, Ed said that he wanted to transition from the Twitch streaming app over to OBS, and I said I'd teach him probably through voice chat or something, but I just decided that doing through a video would probably be easier. So I guess I'll just do this through a video. Yeah. So yeah, 8-minute views, whatever. So this is just gonna be a quick and dirty just sort of introduction of how to do stuff through OBS, or how to like set up OBS initially. I have this set up in kind of the non-standard way. You know what? I'll just make a new. Let's just reset this. Reset UI. So this is what you should see when you start up with, minus this stuff, minus like all these extra audio things. But this is basically what you should see when you start OBS. So actually what I think you should do is, if you want to set up OBS, obviously you want to install it. It's obs.com. I don't know, just Google OBS. There, obsproject.com. There we go. obsproject.com. And like I said, this is just gonna be a quick and dirty like explanation of how to set it up. Actually, there's gonna be two explanations. There's first gonna be the OBS, the minimum, and then they're gonna explain exactly the way I did it, which has a little bit more, but not that much more. It includes this Voicemeeter stuff. So yeah. So first you go to obsproject.com, you install it, do all that stuff. I have a second monitor. Ignore the fact that I have a second monitor, but just go here, download it, install it, whatever. When you start it up, it should look something like this. I think there's also a few prompts that will do a couple of tests and like set up initial settings. I completely forgot about that stuff. But the stuff you should really worry about is, if you're doing just the minimum stuff, all you need to do is go to settings. You go to stream and you select your service, and you select your server, it's auto, whatever. And you would connect your account through Twitch. You know, very sad. I'll connect the account. The Twitch login will come in. It'll log in and do all of that stuff automatically. So you don't need to worry about any of that stuff at all. So actually, I'm just going to go and log in again. Actually, you know what? Let's not. I'll worry about that later. I'll log in again later. But, you know, all that stuff will be done basically automatically. You don't need to worry about it at all. And yeah. And you would also need to set up your displays and things, right? So all you need to do to set up your displays, it will look like this, right? This display capture over here. So I won't delete it because then it'll be impossible for you to see, but I'll show you how to add in a new display, which is just to do this. Ooh. You know what? I was going to figure out how to get rid of, you know, the infinity thing, but whatever, it doesn't matter. You're just going to set up a display capture, and you're just going to capture the monitor that you're planning on capturing for OBS. So the way I have to set up is that I have my second monitor off to the side. Nothing on that second monitor is ever shown. Everything on this one monitor is shown, so I don't need to like mentally worry about will something be shown, will something not be shown, all this sort of stuff. I won't ever capture anything that is not on this monitor, and I will always capture everything that's on this monitor, so I just don't worry about it at all. Yeah, so I'm not going to set up, I'm not going to hit OK here because I obviously already have it set up, but I'll delete the extra one. But yeah, that's all you need to do. So here is the monitor capture. I could resize it, do all that stuff, rearrange it, I hope it's not like super confusing to everyone who's seeing it. I could also add in a camera. So add in a, where is this? Video capture device, which is a webcam. I'm just going to add my existing camera. Is it in? Why is it in? Add a camera. That's strange. You know what? I'll just create a new one. Create a webcam. Yeah, I just had a shower. And just accept all the default settings. Again, since I've already have it, I'm just going to hit cancel here and then delete the old one. And what I have just done by adding these two things is I created a scene. I created a scene, right? A scene is basically a pre-selected group of sources. So in this case, when I create the scene, I can switch between multiple scene. So let's say if I did it like this, I want it set up like this, I'm just gonna I could add a picture if I want, an image. I don't know what the image is gonna be. I don't know what images I have on my computer. Maybe I should have thought about this more. Sure, a Bluetooth. Sure, I'll put this Bluetooth on the screen. So this is gonna be one scene, and at the moment it is, I believe when you create a scene, they're just called scene 1, scene 2. But I have a no cam scene, and I'm actually also gonna have to reset this afterwards. But this is basically what's gonna be. And I could click to this next scene, which is, you know, a preset set of sources, right? Or hit this next one. This one is also very simple. Yeah, I'm not a very complicated streamer. Yeah, so I can just switch between these very, very easily. Actually, I think by default it should look like this in the side. Cool. And then the last thing, and you can just do all that stuff. There's a lot of customization you could do here, but as someone who's not complicated, I'm not going to do any of that stuff. The last thing you need to do is also make sure that your audio is set up, right? So just audio, and then the default, usually we just do default, and over here you would also do default for desktop audio and for mic audio, right? I'm not going to fuss with these settings in particular because I have things set up in a more complicated way. But this is just the basics of setting up OBS. All you need to, and the last, actually I said the last thing, but if you want to save videos and all that sort of stuff, you could also, I think it's in output, right? Output, you saved videos, and yeah, save the videos. That's it. Nothing too complicated. This is just the folder that it's saving to. You could, again, you could fuss with this if you want. I never fuss with it at all. I presume that anyone who needs to do the basics, who just wants to do the basics, will also not worry about it at all. And again, there's more stuff you can do. You can set up specific hotkeys for everything. Something I do want to point out is that streaming and recording are two separate buttons. Virtual camera is actually a extension that I added, and you also don't need to worry about. If you want to like output your stream to something like Zoom, there's a thing for that. But again, it's a lot of stuff that you don't need to worry about. Studio mode, another thing you don't need to worry about. It makes things so that you could make changes and they don't apply until later. But again, don't worry about it. Just go back, just turn off studio mode. Don't worry about it. Cool. So basics, that is the basic of setting OBS. And if that's all you need to worry about, just end the video here, or stop watching the video here. I'm going to continue going on because I did say I was going to explain sort of the basics of setting up Voicemeeter and that thing, or at least the way that I've set it up. So what you would need to do, and again, I did very little preparation for this. I was just hoping to rush this out in like, because I do need to, I'm recording this. I started recording this at 4:30 and I have to be out of here by 5. So I have to do something at 5. So yeah. So what you need to do for Voicemeeter stuff, which is the audio stuff that you need to worry about if you want to have different outputs to your headset, into the stream, and all that sort of stuff. It's this thing right here. There's this program right here called Voicemeeter, right? So there's virtual audio cable, there's Voicemeeter Banana, Voicemeeter Banana, Voicemeeter Potato, right? The difference between all of these is the number of things that you need to, the number of inputs and outputs that you can have, right? If you want to just go directly to the most inputs and outputs, you could just install Voicemeeter Potato. And if you're not the type of person who's going to worry about any of that stuff, you're just going to only set it to, you're just going to download Voicemeeter Potato, and you're only going to use the first like column of each spot, or the first few columns of each spot. And that is totally fine. That's actually what I would recommend you do, because the way I did it was I just like added in extra unnecessary steps, which is, you know, probably not ideal, but it's what I did. So yeah. So this is the part where if you start installing Voicemeeter, you're going to start messing with the audio settings on your actual computer. So after I installed Voicemeeter Banana, here, I'm just going to shift this over. After I installed Voicemeeter Banana, this audio thing no longer works. The volume is always the same for me, unless I mute it. So I don't even bother with this stuff because it has been replaced by this thing over here. And now is, and like, yeah. So that is something to know before you install Voicemeeter, Banana or otherwise. And you know, now I'll just sort of explain it. I would actually recommend you install Potato initially and then just never worry about the other stuff. Or sorry, never worry about the other inputs and outputs. If you're the type of person who gets like distracted somewhat easily, then maybe not. But when I did Banana, when I installed Banana and realized that I wanted more virtual outputs and I couldn't really do it, I had to like do a weird workaround, and I'll explain the workaround later. But the easiest form of it would be to install Potato and then just not futz with it and not like worry about the extra outputs and extra inputs. So yeah, install it and set up and open up Voicemeeter Banana and just initially just check out these things before. I'll just turn this off because I never use it. Turn on the system tray, turn off the Windows startup. And like I said, you'll notice that your audio will be very weird. A lot of your audio will stop working. Like my music player stopped working until I started fixing the settings. You'll also, like after you install this stuff, you'll also have to install, you'll also have to restart your computer, sorry. Yeah, so let's just do this thing. So to do Voicemeeter Banana stuff, you'll adjust your audio settings so that you have stuff that will go to, at least the way I have set up is I have something that will go to the stream, something that will go directly to me, and something that could switch between the two, which is my Discord audio thing, right? So my mic is always going to stream because that's the way I set it in OBS, right? And also the other thing is, I'm not sure if you remember from when I first started up the program, I set this thing up and then I just no longer bothered with it because I was using Voicemeeter Banana to adjust all my audio stuff. Yeah. So if you want to do set it up the way I had, which is say I have a mic set up, I have something that goes never to stream, I have something that goes always to stream, and I have something that goes Discord audio is something I could adjust to switch between whether it will go to stream or whether it will go not to stream. So before I do anything else with Voicemeeter Banana, I'm actually going to go into OBS. And I'm just going to add in a few more audio, where is it? Settings. I'm going to add in a few more audio inputs, right? So I do have this stuff, but I'm going to go in here and depending on the way you set up, I have it set up to be cable input. But this one right here is I have the mic is the microphone. I have another microphone input called Voicemeeter output, and I have something called Voicemeeter aux output. So Voicemeeter output is this first column over here. The second Voicemeeter aux output is this set is this one over here. Oh, I'm sorry, my brain just sort of it's actually this one over here, which I actually should explain the way Voicemeeter works. Is that all these inputs I can set individually to go into each of these outputs. So I have this hardware output, which is just my speakers. And then I'm just not using these three because I don't have other speakers. I don't have other headsets, all that sort of stuff. There's also two virtual, what they call virtual outputs, which are these things, right? So right now, everything that's on the stream, this A1, I'm hearing everything that goes to this thing over here. Because of this thing over here. So right now, everything that's A1, I'm hearing. So if I wanted to, I could set all this thing. And now, because I've clicked this, I can now hear myself. The only reason why none of these are checked off in this specific case is because I have specifically set it up in OBS to pick up my microphone. But if I was someone to, if I were to, you know, set it up properly, I would probably, no, I would probably set up the same. Forget I said that. Once you start worrying about this stuff is the part where you start having to futz with your Microsoft sound settings. So let's just move all this stuff over. Let's move this over. Dang it, come on. And now is the part where you'll have to start messing with your advanced sound options, right? So I'm hoping this makes sense. Maybe none of this makes sense. So what I have done is I have set it up so that, do you see this here that says not to stream? My default output device is cable input because I never want to set it out to stream. By default, I want everything to go to my ears and not out to the stream. To stream, the only thing I have is, you have to go down here. You'll see all these extra sound things. Oh, shoot. And like when I open up a new thing, let's open up Firefox. I have two browsers that I use. If I'm streaming something, I'll use genteki.net on Firefox. And you'll notice here, I said here, it will go to Voicemeeter input. Voicemeeter input is, where the heck did you go? Voicemeeter input is this one right here. And this one will go to my ears and then also to B1, which is this column right here, and is also Voicemeeter output. Does that make sense? Yeah. So let's just do a random. Let's just load a replay. Let's just load. No. Can I? Here. Let's just go to YouTube. Whatever. So right now, sure. Martin Scorsese, the art. Whatever. I don't care. So I'm sure you're hearing this. I can see that's going out to stream audio, right? This thing is going out to you guys, and I'm also hearing this because it is. Oh shoot. Because it is to stream is A1 and B1, right? The stuff that I don't want you to hear, I do in Chrome, right? Or I do in, this is my audio thing. This is going out to, I set the sound to go on the primary sound driver. Actually, because it's the primary sound driver, everything else that I hear is like, I hit this play button, I hear it, you don't hear it. You see here, this audio, you see this audio thing bouncing up and down. It's going to A1 and it's not going to thing. I would set it out to you guys, but I'm not sure if there's going to be some weird YouTube copyright whatevers. Yeah. So then hit pause and this thing fades back down, and it's, you know, if I want you to hear it, I'll press B1 here and you would also be able to hear it. But again, this is only to me. This is not to you guys. Suck it. So this is to me. This is to both me and you. And then the Discord audio, which I have here. I'm just checking to make sure that there's no weird stuff on Discord. No. Over here. Just go to user settings, voice and audio. And this is going to, the input device is my microphone, as always. And I'm doing the aux input, which is here, right? So we're using this switch. First of all, again, A1 will always be on. And then whether I want the stream to hear it or not, I'll go, you know, turn it on and off. Pretty straightforward, right? I actually probably should just do this. And now that I look at it, I don't need to have a Discord audio thing here. I should probably just remove it, but whatever. I'm not gonna, whatever. And again, a lot of stuff that you could futz with, you could worry about. I don't actually know how to worry about this stuff. You could change the audio, all that, yada yada, whatever. Don't worry about it. Worry about it once you figure out how the basic system works. Which is like beyond me right now. This is just all I got. Any other last tips I want to give? Oh, right. If you're finding sound issues, you could like set filters on your audio, which are actually very helpful. Which is in OBS, you do this stuff over here, filters and noise gain suppression. These are the ones that honestly, I looked online and says, I'll use these ones. And then I just use these ones and I just use the default setting for all of them. Noise gate is, it turned off the microphone unless a minimum volume is, so it reduces the, you know, the amount of noise, the amount of background noise that might show up, or just the white noise that comes out, like the microphone hiss. Yeah, gain is just increasing volume because a lot of people were telling me my audio was not working, was not loud enough, and now that I look here, it's going into red a lot, which is I'm not an audio producer, but I heard that's bad, so maybe I should reduce the audio on this. There we go. Apparently it should be in yellow or green most of the time. So let's reduce a bit more. Okay, cool. And then noise suppression is apparently some algorithmic noise reduction. Yep, that's it. I can't think of anything else I need to do. Maybe there is. Ed, if you have any questions, at me in Discord.